Welcome to class. My name is Silas. In today's practice, we will focus on a grounding energy. This is a perfect practice to do just before bed or anytime during the day or even in the morning where you feel like you just want a parasympathetic nervous system stimulation. We will do a little bit of pranayama, some restorative poses, and that's basically it. Let's dive into it. We need a block for today's practice. A book will work as well. Place it to the side and then find your way onto your back. We're starting in a half shavasana. Soles of the feet wide, knees together, and then one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. You can lift the head up just to have the back of the neck long and then place it back down. And then allow the eyes to close. We'll spend probably most of our time on our back. So as you settle onto your mat, literally, see if you can notice your breath. Notice your breath as it comes into your hands, hand on your belly, hand on your heart, and then leaving the heart, and emptying the belly. Just a few moments of presence of the breath, not necessarily interacting with it too much just yet. Continue to just notice the subtleties of your breath, the quality of your inhale, natural pause at the top, quality of your exhale, and the natural pause at the bottom. And you're breathing about 24,000 times a day. How many of these breaths are you actually noticing? When you listen to the breath, it's a listening to a paradox or an acknowledgement of a paradox. Because on the one hand you do the breathing, but on the other hand it's also just happening to you 24,000 times a day. So it's this thing that on the one hand you have full control over. At the same time, you have no control over it at all. And you're just glad that it happens. Life works in a very similar paradox. You have full control over it. And other times it just happens. And taking another smooth breath in, just noticing inhale, fullness of inhale. And then taking a full breath out, emptying the lungs all the way to the base, all the way to empty, empty, empty. Pause at the bottom. Breathe in for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, open heart, soft face. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, breath full. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. And then allow the breath to just fall back in without any count, just observing inhale and exhale. Noticing if anything has changed or shifted. And see if you can stay connected to the quality of your breathing here. Long, slow and deep. You can keep the eyes closed from here and see if you can locate your block. And we're going to take the block on either the lowest or middle setting, lifting the head up and then placing it right at the border where your head turns into your cervical spine. And right on that edge we sit it. And then the hands can either rest back onto your body or by your side. And the eyes can be closed or soft gaze. From here begin to turn the head towards the right side. Without pushing it, just finding the furthest way you can turn. And then split the distance from where your nose is pointing to the center in half and bring the nose to that halfway point. Now pause here and then draw little circles with the nose, almost like there's a dollar coin or a cent coin right in front of your nose and you're just drawing tiny circles. And change direction. And then from that halfway point, split the remaining distance to the middle in half again. Bring your nose there, pause, and then once again, little circles. And changing direction. Relaxing the face. And then bringing the nose back to the middle. And then turning over towards the left. Just turning over so far that you don't have to push. And then from that point, split the distance to the middle in half. Pause. Little circles. Change direction. And then split the remaining distance to the middle in half once more. Take the nose there. Little circles. Keeping the neck and the head relaxed while you do this. And changing direction. And then coming back towards center. And lift the head up, take the block out. And place it towards the side. Just take a moment, let the back of the head rest. Listening to the after effects. And then from here, take the knees apart, bring the knees towards your armpits. Hold onto the knees with your hands, almost like a malasana squat on your back. And then pull the knees towards your chest and you create a little rocking up and down the spine. It's a really good way to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. Just rest and digest, bringing yourself down. And then from here, let the knees go, place the feet onto the floor, lift the hips up, and then take your block and place it either on the middle or the lowest setting, right underneath your sacrum. And then let the hips rest upon it. Now from here, we're going to bring the left knee into the chest, hold the knee with both hands, and then extend the right leg down the mat. Now as you extend the right leg down, really let the heel fall onto the floor. No effort involved. And flex the toes back towards you, push the heel away, and then gently draw the left knee towards the chest. And then breathe into that right frontal hip. And then eventually letting all the effort of the right leg go. And just softening the foot, the leg. And breathing long, slow and deep. If there's any lower back pain or discomfort, it might be a sign that the block is either too high or that you should take it out completely. Sometimes, if the lower back hurts, maybe also check if the block is on your sacrum or if it's actually sitting in the lower back. I see a lot of people, they put their block right underneath the lower back, have it really sit right underneath the hips. And we're here for just another 30 seconds. And gently pulling that left knee in, breathing into the right frontal hip. And then slowly let go of the left leg. Place the left foot onto the ground and bring the right knee into the chest. Hold onto the right knee with both hands. And then slowly extend the left leg down the mat. Just heel onto the floor, flexing the toes back towards you, and then actively push the left heel away from you as you pull the right knee into the chest. And breathing into the left frontal hip. And eventually allowing the left leg to fully relax. And then just breathing. Long, slow and deep. If you clicked onto this video because you read LSD in the subscription or description, that's the LSD of yoga, the long, the slow and the deep. That's really the secret of a good yin practice or good restorative practice or even a pranayama practice. You can never go too deep. You can only go too quickly. So you're coming back to long, slow and deep breathing. And then we will slowly let that right leg go. And placing the foot onto the floor, rebending the left leg. And press the feet down, lift the hips up, and just let the whole spine come back onto the floor and extend both legs, one at a time. Keeping the hands onto the frontal hips, relaxing your legs, and just a moment to notice. How does it feel when the hips come back below the heart, when the legs extend. How does I feel within the sensations of my body? And then bending one leg at a time, knees into the chest, and giving yourself a little squeeze. We're actually going to come up and we will turn onto our belly. And so there are many ways you can come up. You can either just roll over one side and slowly find your way up, or you hold behind the knees and then roll up and down the spine, finding your way up into a seat. And as you come up, even just noticing that, how does it feel to be upright now? After you've spent a fair bit amount of time on your back, maybe there's some sensations or a flush of sensations when your head comes above the heart. I'm going to find a 90-90 position from here. You're going to bring the left shin towards the front edge of your mat and then bring that right leg behind you. You can have the block in front of you in the highest setting. I'm going to fold forward and down. You can come onto your forearms and then even let the forehead rest onto the block. And it's up to you depending on how much space you have. You can stay here or begin to walk that right leg back more for like a pigeon shape. But I'm a big fan of the 90-90. It creates sensation in my left outer hip, and that's all I'm looking for. I'm not necessarily looking for a deep stretch, but the point of first sensation where I can allow my nervous system to really, ground. There's really something said about finding a point where you feel sensation, but you're not pushing past that point, and then you allow your nervous system to really fall into this mellow state where you can breathe long, slow, and deep. It's also a good point where you know you're not overstretching anything. If you're a very mobile person, you might have to be a little bit more careful with finding that point of first sensation. But we're really looking for a nervous system response here and not necessarily trying to stretch deeper than yesterday, even though that might happen. Maybe these two are related, the way the nervous system responds and then the way how open your body feels. Breathing into the shell of your body, back of the heart. I'm not going to be quiet for the next minute. Just you and your breath, you and your nervous system. And then taking a last full breath in. And a long, slow breath out. And using your hands just to bring the upper body back up. The block can stay where it is. Bring the hands behind you and then just swing the legs around. You can prop yourself onto your hands. Just a couple times, windshield wipe the legs side to side. We're just going to change sides. Right shin towards the front edge of your mat. 90-90 in the knees. Left foot back. And then you slowly make your way forward. You can always stay higher up or coming onto your forearms, forehead resting on the block. And finding the point of first sensation, wherever that is for you. And if it's sitting in 90-90 upright, then that's it. Maybe you begin to walk that left foot back, more towards a sleeping swan setup. Finding a point where you can soften, where you feel like you could stay forever. And then when you begin to stay there, just for the beginning of infinity, you will notice that things will change and shift. Sensations will change and shift. Even thoughts will change and shift. The breath runs through it all. The breath will change and shift in such a way that might be deeper sometimes than at other times, slower or faster. Either way, the breath is there, connecting your whole experience, almost like the thread of a necklace. You have all these different pearls on the necklace, and the pearls might be yoga poses, thoughts, sensations, moments in your life. But then the breath runs through these pearls, connecting them. And it does it about 24,000 times a day. I'll be quiet for the last 30 seconds here. And taking one more full breath in, and a full breath out. And then slowly find your way back up. I'm going to place the block towards the side, and we're actually going to come to lay onto our belly. So swing the legs around and then come into this prone position. I'm going to make a little pillow with your hands for your forehead, and then place the forehead onto your hands, elbows are wide. And relax your feet hip width distance or even mat width distance apart. And then use the floor as a feedback mechanism for the breath. Breathing into the belly. And feeling how the breath rises up through the belly, into the heart. And then as the heart empties, it travels back down, emptying the belly as well. And then see if you can find a count that suits you. Maybe breathing in for the count of 4. A natural pause at the top, and then exhaling for the count of 4, 5, or 6. Noticing the natural pause at the bottom. Continue with that. Noticing how the breath expands into your back body. wherever you are in your breath cycles, the next time that you exhale all the way, pause there. And then take another full breath in, breathing in for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Breath full. And then just let the breath fall out and receive it as it is. You can stay with the forehead resting on your hands, or you lift the head up, turn the head towards the left side of your mat, and take the arms by your side, palms facing towards the ceiling. I'm going to stay here for 30 seconds, just with the head turned one way. Just noticing your natural breath as it comes in and out. And then just lifting your head up and turning the nose to face the other way. Just noticing how does it feel in your neck when you turn the head the other way. There's something very calming of laying on your belly and breathing. Now from here, you can either come back towards neutral, meaning you make a little cushion with your hands for your forehead. And you can stay here for a little bit longer if you like. If you want to or need to move on with your day, we're going to bring the hands underneath the elbows and then push back to a seat at the back of the mat with an upright spine, just hero's position. And bringing the hands in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra. A brief moment of gratitude for a slower pace of practice. And just noticing the state of your breath, maybe even your nervous system. And this grounding quality, earthy quality. And thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Namaste.